Hello students, hope you all are doing fine. I'm your educator Tanvi and here we are going to discuss the third part of chapter 2 biological classification. So let's get started. We will begin with kingdom fungi. So the fungus, the organisms which we refer to as fungi or singular fungus, these are heterotrophic organisms. By now, I hope it is very much clear the organisms which are dependent on others for food are known as heterotrophic organisms or heterotrophs. So there can be variety of heterotrophs and most of the varieties can be found in the kingdom fungi. So let us look at the first category of heterotrophic organisms, that is saprophytes. So saprophytes are those organisms which will feed on dead and decayed matter. Okay, and then they will absorb food from that. So can you guess that the saprophytes, are they releasing some enzymes outside the body? Yes, surely. So they are secreting certain extracellular enzymes through which they can absorb the soluble organic matter from dead substrates, okay, dead and decayed matter. Next is parasites. So some fungus, they depend on living plants and animals for their nutritional needs. Others can act as symbionts. What are symbionts? It is a beneficial association between two organisms, means they are associated with different organisms and they will provide benefits to them. No harm is there to the other organism. Like the association with algae, means fungus and algae, that association is referred to as lichen, and the association of fungus with roots of higher plants is referred to as mycorrhiza. All right, so fungal component, it is heterotrophic, so it is actually giving the protection, and through plants it is getting what? It is getting the nutrition, and lichens we will study in detail later on. Next, coming to their habitat, wherever moisture is there, fungus is the first organism to grow. So they grow in warm and humid places and they are cosmopolitan. Again, like bacteria, you name the habitat and you will find them. So cosmopolitan or ubiquitous means that they are found in variety of habitats, whether you talk about air, water, soil, whether on plants and animals. Now, looking at the importance of these organisms, these can be harmful also and can be useful also. So let us look at both of the things. See, firstly, they can be harmful, as in they can be a parasitic fungus, and generally on mustard leaves, if we see white spots, it is an indication of fungal infection. Then coming to wheat, rusting, that is again a disease in wheat that is caused by another fungus, which is Puccinia. Another useful, now the useful part comes, penicillium is a fungus which is a source of variety of antibiotics. And the first antibiotic, that is penicillin, was discovered in this organism only. And unicellular fungus, the only unicellular fungus known is yeast. It is used to make bread and beer. Now let us look at the structure of fungus. How does a fungus look like? So fungus generally is multicellular. It is filamentous in nature, except the unicellular yeast. It contains cell wall, and this cell wall is different from the cell wall of a plant cell. How? Because the plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, but the fungal cell wall is made up of chitin. Again, it is a complex sugar molecule, polymer of N-acetyl glucosamine. And it is made up of variety of polysaccharides, means carbohydrates, polymers. Now, the important point over here is difference between these two terms, hyphae and mycelium. Hyphae are thread-like structures like these, and a collection of these thread-like structures is referred to as mycelium. Now, these hyphae, they can have many nucleus, so multinucleate. Such type of hyphae is called as cenocytic. For example, I take this hyphae. It is containing more than one nucleus, right? So this will be referred to as cenocytic hyphae. Now, some of these cenocytic hyphae, they can have cross walls or septa, means like this. Divisions can be there, or it can be like this only. So sometimes these septa or cross walls are present, and in other cases it is continuous. All right, so it has multinucleated cytoplasm known as cenocytic hyphae. In this slide, the structure will be more clear. See these long thread-like structures, these are called as hyphae. All right, and the collection of hyphae is referred to as mycelium. Now here it is clearly shown a multinucleated hyphae, and that is known as cenocytic hyphae. Sometimes the fungus can have root-like structures which are called as rhizoids, which actually help them to bind to the substrate, whatever on which they are growing. Now you can see a term sporangiophore. Actually, fungus, they are famous to produce variety of spores, which we'll be studying. So if they are producing sporangiospores, this hyphae will be called as a sporangiophore. All right. Now these sporangiospores, why these are called sporangiospores? Because they are produced within a sac, ball-like structure, which is known as sporangium. So spores produced within a sporangium are called as sporangiospores, and the hyphae on which these sporangiospores are born are known as sporangiophore. All right.